All right, and I think we're good to go. There we are. Hey everybody. I like it's. I try not to look at the camera. There's Chris. Chris is actually manning the control panels, and we thank him, Chris.
Shout out to Chris.
Shout out to Chris. He's really the best partner. Honestly, he doesn't get enough credit. He is a tremendous partner. I'm happy to have him. But and I'm also happy to have somebody, another guest with us. We're going to be talking to all of Column 5, and right now we have Miss Maria Wise with us. Maria, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. You know,
Thank
just
you
enjoying
for
this weather.
having
It's
me.
beautiful.
It
outside.
is nice. It is nice,
beautiful.
but I'm scared that by tomorrow I'll be freezing.
Is it supposed to be cold tomorrow?
Anything. I like the
Anything
summer and
under,
the spring,
like 90,
so
yeah,
like anything under 70 for me.
I got you. So, Maria, you're running for the Board of Ed.
I am.
Now this would be your second time to run.
Yes.
Right? And it's funny because I actually approached Maria last year to run for the Board of Ed.
And I said,
She told me to go to hell.
absolutely not.
She told me to go to hell. She did. So I said that's another story for another day. But I did approach her. I think Maria is a tremendous candidate. And Maria, let folks know that don't know who you are.
Okay. Well,
Tell us about yourself.
I'm Maria Wise. I came to Edison when I was 5 years old. I went through the school system from first grade through 12th grade. My kids went through the school system. I have a little one just starting TJ this year. So,
What year did you graduate high school?
97. Shh.
You're a little older than
Shut
me.
up.
2 years.
Shut up. I said shh. We won't talk about that. Yes, I'm a little older. My kids think I'm really old, but that's another conversation for another day. So yeah, I went through the school system. My kids went through the school system. I have a little one in school now.
Mm-hmm.
I have my son is 20. He's special needs. He's on the autistic spectrum. He has Asperger's and ADD and everything else in the alphabets that they try to classify him with. That is when I started really paying attention to the schools.
Was it a struggle for him going through the district?
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
Like Tony. Tony had the same story.
Well, yes, Tony. I don't know Tony's full struggle.
Right.
But on a personal level, I can tell you when they kicked my son out in the second grade.
Right.
And they said, "Oh, he's a bad kid. He's out of control." No, he wasn't bad. He was autistic.
Yeah.
So there's
Unbelievable.
yeah. So we had to struggle, but thankfully we got him into Collier. Collier High School was doing a pilot program where they were allowing middle school kids to come in. He was actually in 5th grade.
Okay.
But I called Mr. Raybach and I begged him to bring my son in there. And Raybach, he's a wonderful, wonderful man. So yeah, he let my son in, and thank God for that. So he graduated high school. And then, just as a resident, as a taxpayer, just paying attention.
Right.
I was a committee woman for
Yes.
2 years, so we won't talk about that. That's another story.
You're active people. I could say this because I'm a little active in the community myself, and
A little bit.
I know Maria because Maria, folks, for anybody who doesn't know, Maria was actually one of the petitioners on the Suez petition.
I was.
She was a.
That's how we met.
Yes. And I was. I always got along with you ever since the first time we met. We got along. We clicked off, and we. It's even though separate parties, it doesn't matter. We have a lot of common.
Because when it comes down to humanity, there is no partisan.
And especially on local stuff, we want this. We just want good government.
Right.
We just want it to run properly.
Right. That's
None of this.
Do the right thing.
This crap that goes on in this town, and these are my words, not yours, but the crap that goes on in this town. I'm telling you, I got in the last 2 years, Maria, I've gotten a very, very inside look on how, like, as bad as everybody thinks it is. It's 10 times worse. It really is.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. That's how I explained it to my kids. I saw behind the curtain, and it was not pretty.
Yeah, it's not, and I'm not every. It's not everybody. There's a few.
No, absolutely.
I love our council president.
Yes.
There's a few. We have a few good council members. I'm not going to go through them all. I mean, let people decide. But the point
a few
is,
bad apples that
there
spoil
are a
the
few
bunch.
bad apples,
Yeah.
and there's bad apples that are non-elected that I call behind the black curtain. For another day. But anyways, You're running for the Board of Ed.
I am.
What do you want to concentrate on? What do you want to, what are you trying to attack? What do you,
Okay, so everybody always asks me,
because we have a lot of
what's
the same,
my number one
Right.
concern? So for the I'm a mother, so
Right.
obviously my main concern, first and foremost, is safety for
Right.
the students, for the teachers, the faculty, the staff. Now, when you say safety, that encompasses a lot. That's a broad brush. Okay, so we have obviously the safety where I'd like to see. I'd like to see more cameras in places that they aren't. For example, in
Okay.
the high schools, in the staircases.
Okay.
For, I don't have to explain to you. You went to Edison High. What
did.
happens in the staircases? Okay. Out in the fields where the kids are being assaulted, or what happens behind the bleachers.
I was
things
always
like
in the
that.
library. So I don't know
Yeah,
what you're
you're
talking
right.
about.
I'm sure. I'm sure. It shows. But if we broaden that perspective, safety also, and this is one thing that, excuse me, I've been voicing my concern about since at least 2017 is the overcrowding.
Right.
Which
Listen,
it hasn't gone away.
it hasn't, not
And
only
now
has
we're in a
it,
pandemic. I'm hoping they're going to start paying attention.
not only has it not gone away, Maria, it's gotten worse.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
I think under and again, these are my words, but under the previous board president, it's gotten 10 times worse. When you want to throw $200 million at a problem, any 4-year-old could throw money at a problem. All right, asking for the taxpayer,
But it's not a solution.
It's not because when
Right.
they're still building the way they're building here,
Right.
you don't solve the long-term problem.
Right.
And how you keeping seniors? What you want to do is you want to keep the senior citizens in their homes, because what's going on is you're pushing them out.
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
have younger families coming in with more kids.
Right. You're absolutely right. And I knew it was a problem. I mean, I can see my kid was in John Marshall, and she didn't have a chair to sit on for a few years, And I said, "What do you mean you don't have a chair?" So I saw that, and in the high schools and the middle schools, they can't walk. There's no way to social distance these kids. It's impossible. It's not going to happen.
Well, look, I think the district, Ralph Errico, I think the board president has done a fabulous job. I think Bernie's done a great job. I think the two of them are in a tough spot. I think every district's in a really tough spot because it's uncharted territory.
Yeah.
We don't know. There's no history to go by.
I
to
don't
guide
envy Dr. Bragan's
No,
position.
I don't.
He's making history
He is, and
for superintendent to be supervising a pandemic.
exactly. And he hasn't had I don't think he's had the appropriate time to even do what superintendents need to do.
Right.
To run a district.
Right.
He's been dealing with this crap.
Well, we have there's a lot of concerns going on right now. There's the technology,
Yep.
because everybody's working remote.
Yep.
And, excuse me, not everybody has the same access, if you will.
Right.
Some people's internet connection isn't as great as others. And then there's the Chromebooks aren't great. There's a lot of
Right.
issues. And then the teachers, too. I mean, these teachers have it really, really bad
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
So for a student and their perspective to do their remote learning, they only need their one piece of equipment.
Right.
They have either their laptop or Chromebook or whatever it would be.
Right.
But for a teacher to truly teach and do their job effectively, they need like 3 pieces of technology, basically,
Yeah.
And then try to keep the kids focused, try to keep the kids engaged, and then actually, here's a fun thought, teach them.
Right.
That's the difficult part, right?
what-
Because you're not just having the kids show up.
What I also worry about is I don't know if it's the future of. I've had this conversation with teachers, with parents, and I have a real concern about the future of the technology, where
we're heading.
Because the one way to solve overcrowding without
Let's give the
without
option.
spending money is to use remote learning.
And everybody has the
And
equipment already.
I prefer the kids. If it was, I don't have children, but if
Right.
I did, I want my kids in the classroom with the teacher, the old school way, not reinventing the wheel. But to save money, you're going to see a big push now to have children at home doing it. You're going to save money on cost of teachers. So teachers that retire, I'm afraid that they're not going to be replaced. So
Yeah.
you're going to have one teacher doing remote learning for you know what I mean? You'll see more student. I'm not going to go into specifics of what I think, but I do see I see the future. This is not going away.
Right.
Remote learning. This is the beginning. This is the
This
test
is the
run.
beginning. Yeah, you're
You know?
absolutely right. It's the
So-
beginning of something
and
new.
it's not something that I would listen for a junior or senior in high school. I have no problem if they want to take 1 or 2 classes. That's fine. But a child in middle school, elementary school, they need to be in they need to be in
Right.
school. They need to be in school. And these parents, single parents, are tough. I mean, what happens if you're a single mom right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be home watching the kids.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. I know a lot of students who are in that situation where they have single moms and they're home with grandma, and grandma may not speak English.
Right.
So if
Right.
the teacher's saying something, and you're trying to keep it for abuelo or somebody to help them with,
Yeah.
she doesn't know what they're saying, so she can't. So mom has to come home after work and do the homework and figure out how to get online to see if the kid is missing assignments, because that's always fun, right?
Right.
Going into Google Classroom.
Well, listen, I don't have that problem.
Oh, yes. I spend a lot of
I hear
time
the
in
stories,
Google
Chris, so I
Classroom.
don't have the problem. Bria, you are you know the town.
I do.
The pulse of the town pretty well, just as well as anybody I know. Probably maybe even better than me. And I think you would be a very good addition to the Board of Ed. And you'd be outspoken. I always have an issue with.
I'm definitely outspoken.
But I think that's what we need. I think we need somebody on the board that's not afraid to just talk and just tell us the truth. You know what I mean? Tell us how it is. I'm not saying that you have to go against have decorum.
Right.
But to be the voice of the parent of
Real
the public,
people.
of the real people. Just telling us how it is. I don't care.
'Cause I'm a real
It is what
person.
it is. So, closing argument. Tell us. Give us the zip version of bam. Why we should vote for you, Maria.
Vote for Maria Wise. It's the wise decision. No,
That's
that is
I like
so
that. I
cheesy.
like
My
that. No,
kids
I
are
like
like,
that.
"That's cheesy. Don't
like
say
it.
that." But honestly, I just want to do. You know what? I got to say one thing before I leave. I hear a lot of bickering back and forth between the candidates wanting to do this, the candidates want to do that, and even the folks that are on the current board. What about this? What about that? I've never once heard anybody say, "What about the kids?"
Can I stop you?
Yeah.
Because I'm glad you brought this up.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna. My goal is not to attack anybody, but I will say this. You're right. I put this out there recently, and I said, I hear so much about the vendors. We got to redo the contracts.
Contracts, yes.
Contracts,
And the
vendors.
budgets.
Yeah, this, that, and the other. And it's never about the students.
kids,
It's
right?
never about the students.
And it's sad.
And it's folks. I'm telling you, you go to this WhatsApp groups. It's all about vendors and money, vendors.
Vicious on there
It's terrible.
sometimes.
It's never about the children.
No, yeah.
And I'm sick and tired of that. So I'm glad that you brought the children up. So go on. Continue.
Yeah, I definitely think that we need to give the children and the teachers, the faculty, the staff, especially right now.
Right.
They need as much support as we can possibly give them. And I have a financial background, so I'm well aware of
Yes.
the finance responsibility aspect of the board as well.
Mm-hmm.
But really, these are schools,
Right.
right? So the number one objective is to teach our children, have them learn, not just have them pass through.
Right.
And the teachers need support because they're shaping our future.
Absolutely.
Right? They're our kids.
Well, I think we're lucky. We do have the best teachers in the
Yeah,
state.
we do. We
And,
really do.
We're fortunate. And Maria, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you for
I
having
wish you
me.
the best of luck.
Thank
And,
you.
I get a kick out of. I could probably talk to Maria. We got to bring her back on.
Yeah, this is my
non-
first podcast, by the way. So
non Board of Ed issues.
I would love
talk
to
about some
do-
other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I have all the dirt. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, folks. Thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Thank you.
Bye-bye.